Now look at this. It's not as beautiful as it sounded. Well, the insurance and bank, Nubifair and all that, joining the strike. That impact has been dislocated by the withdrawal of TUC from the strike. I know the TUC is the elitist class.
Yes, the
senior staff, formed in 2005 or 2006 in August, to some kind of who then set themselves apart. Because when you look at NLC at that time, it was a kind of an anomic organization where you have all manner of persons, motopark, and different kinds of persons. So they wanted to be different. And that elitism is still there. Most times they work at cross purposes. When they were registered in 2005, it was obvious that that was to dilute. People were, afraid that the registration of TUC will dilute and diffuse the effectiveness of NLC. So sometimes one will blame NLC for not being what they used to be during Pascal Bafiao's time, Imodu, even recently, Adam Oshomole.
Yes.
It is because of what happened in 2005. The same thing is happening to ASU, where
it has been balkanized.
So this kind of balkanization is what I know that they used to have. They are supposed to be affiliates, but this is an elitist affiliate. And what's their reason for backing it? They said they have not exhausted consultation with government, and that it's premature now to go on strike until they exhaust all manner of consultation.
They participated when it was planned.
Yes.
They participated in the resolution signed when they gave the notice. Their signatures were there. Why would they back out at the last minute? That is the problem of labor.
Yep.
People give threat, but when they see the other side, they withdraw. And tomorrow the same person will come to complain. There should be unity in labor, because the circumstance now has given the responsibility of protecting or assuming the conscience of the society to labor. Before, it used to be students and market women. That time there was no phone. You recall when that morning when Babangida made a broadcast and imposed SAP on the nation. That time there was no phone, no mobile GSM and all that. Students went out after the broadcast from all sides, responded spontaneously. By 4 o'clock, Augustus Aikomu, the then
Vice President.
Yes.
First military Vice President.
Yes. Came and also he did his broadcast, diluting, taking decisions, announcing decisions that diluted the fierce, severe measures announced by Babangida in the morning. That was how it was. We don't need to consult NLC. NLC has just come in to moderate the vent. I mean, making people not to vent for their angers. If not, how can NLC? After all, when things are done, it's for labor. Who accounts for the millions of unemployed or privately employed people who are not part of NLC and TUC? So, however, I think by now we should be evaluating, because the thing started this morning. What has happened in Port Harcourt, in Lagos, yes, at my 2 area, pictures that came in said, we saw smoke. Then we also saw reports that tanker drivers joined, and they were at loggerhead with security group, and one of them was shot, and I don't know the situation now in Lagos. And as usual, why many people were in support of NLC, some other groups of people were against NLC. So the two groups clashed at various points in Lagos. We don't know what has happened in other states, whether they are waiting for tomorrow. But for the banks, I don't think it has been severe. POS still dispensing cash.
Yes, it is.
And I am sure that the various AT...
Hence will be loaded.
Yes. And
there may be skeletal services by senior staff now that TUC is out.
But it is all for good. Here in Port Harcourt, the road is still very busy.
Very busy. But
as I was coming, I
even though I heard in Abuja, there's a news report that some offices were closed and all that.
As I was coming, I saw traffic hold up somewhere else and all that. I know we are a conservative state. So
no, we are not conservative. We're a very busy state.
Very not busy. So that is it. They think that next time, Labour, if they are out to fight for the interest of the masses, it must have to be analyzed. It must have to be placed before those for whom the action is to benefit.
Because I know that Labour I remember my friend used to be director of research.
Yes.
He was
Michael Imodu.
During these other sets of the 80s,
yes.
You know, he was graduated with us in Uniport. I remember he used to be in charge of He's the deputy president of NLC.
NLC. And he's now a director in Michael Imodu Institute of Labour.
Exactly.
In Kwara State.
Exactly. And that Institute of Labour is there to do research.
Yes.
And that's so the Labour must always argue from point of view of knowledge.
Yes.
And this point of view of knowledge should be taken beyond just, the flash of the pan decisions.
Yes.
They should be able to actually research, interrogate their research, feel the pulse of the people, engage government on those issues regularly before they can now come out to say government has failed. Because Labour should not be preemptive. Some kind of, will I say that? They look at government from reactive, yes, that's the word. Look at what government is doing and simply pounce to find fault and all that. I think that's
kind
the kind
of observation. That is a kind of the Labour said while they were still meeting, the National Assembly members were giving some amount of money
to some of them.
Yes, at the Senate level, the Senate president called 2 million naira as token.
Okay.
As token. Then they are looking at the possibility of buying armored car for them.
Those are flames. Those are not. No reason for which Labour should go on strike.
And even as they were still talking, government is delaying and all that.
I even heard Labour saying part of the reason why they're going on strike is the pronouncement by Wike, FCD minister, that he was going to demolish the buildings of workers. Those are kind of exaggerated impressions.
That kind of thing. So during our time, we are guided by the principle of power of superior argument.
That's the point.
When you go to negotiate, you make your point. And if the other side sees superiority in that argument, they yield.
Exactly.
And if we see also sense in their argument, we yield.
Yeah.
Power of superior argument. And I don't know, you can only do that when you are vast in knowledge.
Knowledge, yeah.
And all that.
And that's why it should be a knowledge-driven organization.
Yes.
That should be the fourth eye, the fourth arm of government, as it were. You have the three arms. You have the press.
The fourth estate.
The fourth estate. So Labour should be the fifth.
Yes. So by this time, people go in for the lucre of the office.
Exactly.
What when you look, I used to hear some Labour officers, Luco, it remains 6 months, and I have not done anything. I have not built my house. I have not bought a car.
So that's why I'm Labour. Labour should be a progressive
thing.
Organization.
That is why
that stands to protect the interests of the masses.
That is why there is a kind of despondency.
Yes.
Now amongst people like Aremu you have mentioned, and all those who fought selflessly.
Exactly, progressive minds.
Yes.
I think that Labour got it wrong when they endorsed a political party. Just because it had that brand, Labour Party. That's why they got it. And that's why Nigerians will not trust whatever they say.
In fact...
because they are not very political.
Yes. No, though it wouldn't have been bad, because from history...
We've had revolutionary...
Yes, we have Labour parties owned by Labour. This time, before now, they've been fighting. When they fight, some people will enter to enjoy.
Yeah.
But now, they say, let them have their party. Unfortunately, they are not owning the party.
They're not owning the party. They're just sympathetic.
They made it just an opportunity instrument for people who don't have influence in their various organizations to come and hijack.
And that's why nobody can trust them.
Yes.
It is not their party, but it is simply aligned to that party.
To that party.
And so they have the sentiment of obedience.
Yes.